Welcome back to the history of English literature. We are looking at the origin of drama, especially the predecessors of drama. In the last videos, we have seen about mystery plays and miracle plays. This video we are going to look on morality play. Actually, the mystery plays dealt with the stories from Bible, and the morality play is all about and it dealt with the lives and biographies of saints. These had begun to pave way to another kind of plays known as the morality play. This is by the end of the 14th century. Here we find a very radical shift from biblical stories from the thematic structure, which was mostly concentrating on church and so on and so forth. Here, the theme and the treatment was mostly allegorical, and later on, when we begin to look at the forms of poetry which began to emerge in England from the early Elizabethan period onwards, it would be noted that allegorical poetry had begun to enjoy a lot of success and fame in the Elizabethan England. So, in a way, morality play and allegorical nature of them began to lead England towards a kind of poetry and a kind of genre that it would begin to enjoy. So, this allegory was very interesting in the sense that these plays had abstract characters such as virtues, dealing with the emotions of human beings, as well as treating animals and our moralities as real characters, and abstract emotions and virtues as real characters. Like faith would be one character, truth, charity, good deeds, justice, mercy, though these are all abstract qualities, these morality plays these are shown as the personification, as a real persons, as the characters in these plays. This would also remind us that in the later centuries to come, many of these personifications of the characters have the roots in the morality plays, and these fine virtues would be contrasted against virtues against vices such as falsehood, covetousness, gluttony, etc. Like these of false virtues also personified in this character, but they are portrayed as the enemy to the good characters, that is the good emotions, personified emotions. So these positive virtues would be showcased as the protagonist, and the vices, that is the negative virtues, as the antagonist of the play. And there was also in this character of the vice who would also give a kind of comic interlude to these plays. And in fact, one of the critics have described this morality as allegorical stories where characters battle for the control of the soul. This also reminds us briefly about Marlowe's doctoral fastest, about which we would be discussing in one of the upcoming video. And these morality plays significantly laid a foundation of the characterization in drama, especially in the Elizabethan drama and English drama that followed afterwards. And these were mostly about moral behavior, as the title would imply that, but ironically, as time progressed, they were not entirely about morality. In fact, there was a lot of immorality which was getting celebrated within the plot structure of these morality plays. Because of this, since the earlier times of plays, of the mystery plays and the miracle plays were overly didactic, overly moralistic. The commoners, in fact, began to enjoy the kind of immorality instead of morality. So, this immorality, which was getting celebrated in a subtle way within these morality plays, this also had led to a lot of immense popularity for these morality plays because they always gave a different kind of entertainment to the English people from 14th century onwards. And one of the most celebrated and most common of these morality plays is the one which is named as Everyman. The authorship is disputed. so it is left as being anonymous. This was in 1490 towards the end of the 15th century. In fact, every man continues to be staged in minor ways, even in the contemporary that also talks about the universality and relevance of the play. Every man from 15th century, and this plot structure was mainly about the to contest between the virtues and vices, and it also had a subtle humor in it because every man who can be almost every man as the title implies, and death comes to him and gives him an invitation to reach God, and then every man is reluctant to leave earth and live along with the death to reach God. So he is looking for a companion to accompany him to God. So he goes along meeting various people, his relatives, his friends, and goes on asking them whether they would be interested in joining him in this journey towards God. And almost everyone says no. In fact, there are a couple of comic interventions in between. For example, there is his cousin that every man goes to him and asks him if he would like to accompany him on this journey to meet God. And the cousin says, I would have loved to, but except for this tiny toe problem that I have got. So it was all hugely entertaining for the common people, and they even hear keeping him tuned with the tradition of the morality plays. All the characters and the names such as good deeds, justice, vice, gluttony, charity, truth, faith, etc. So every man approaches all of these characters who are also his relatives and friends, and towards the end we find good deed is the only character who decides to accompany him on his way to reaching God. So this also has an implied moral, and it also had a continued relevance in the sense that when the time occurs for anyone to meet God through death, it is only perhaps the good deeds which would accompany him. So this kind of intervention through the morality plays, it had a lots of philosophical undertones. It also tried in a very different way other than the miracle and mystery plays to bring in a theological discussion among the commoners, and also led them to ask questions about life in general, about the reality of death, about the abstraction of life after death, so on and so forth. Here, the morality plays taught lessons of morality through the use of allegorical characters, but mystery plays told stories from Bible and gave way to large mystery circles in which many stories were told sequentially on the same day. Miracle plays told the stories of the saint's life, sometimes true or sometimes fictional. The actions of the morality play centers on a hero such as mankind whose inherent weaknesses are asserted by such personified forces such as the seven deadly sins, but who may choose redemption and enlist the aid of such figures as the four daughters of God, such as mercy, justice, temperance, and truth. The most famous example for the morality play is Nicolas de la Chesnaye. This is his work Contamination des Banquets, which was published in 1507, which argues for moderation by showing the bad and that awaits a company of unrepentant revelers, including gluttony and watering mouth. Among the oldest morality plays, the surviving in English is The Castle of Perseverance. It was published in 1425. Of all morality plays, the one that is considered the greatest and that is still performed is the morality play called Everyman. Now let us look at some of the questions from morality plays. The first question is, the morality plays deal with option A, stories of the lives of saints, B, biblical themes, C, heaven and hell, D, allegorical characters. Actually, the morality plays deal with the allegorical characters with the good virtues and bad characters also. So the next question is, how is Everyman described on the front page? Actually, the Everyman is actually a morality play. Okay, it's the best ever morality play. So option A is the correct answer. The next one is, the characters such as Falsehood, Covetous, Gluttony are appeared in dash plays. These are the allegorical characters. They are the bad virtues, bad characters that is personified in the morality plays. So option A is the correct one. So that's all today in this video. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.